Mortality, panic attacks, the afterlife. Whatcha gonna do? Well, we saw Bad Boys Ride or Die, so you know what that means.
Show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul, and the beautiful June. Gonna take you from the groove all the way to the room. Renegades and Street Fighter help to blow off steam. Just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Sharp little birdemic, how we staying alive. They call me when they're badass and he's on the line. Cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice. Cause the bad Jim Barney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots get me paid. They're just a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, people of Philadelphia! We are live at the Miller Theater talking about one of the most important films to come out in 2024. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, it would have been better if they used the title for Bad Boys 3 for Bad Boys 4, which was Bad Boys for Life. But we are stuck with Ride or Die. Fast and Furious would never make that mistake. What do you need to know? Well, it might shock one of the people on this stage that Bad Boys started off as a conventional buddy cop film. But in Bad Boys 3, there are witches. Yes, they don't really touch on it in Bad Boys 4, but there are witches. Not like we think she's a witch, she a witch. And Bad Boys 4 ups the ante in every fucking way. I love this movie. I love it so much. We'll see what everybody else thinks. But I'll tell you this. What is it about? So many things. IMDb says, when their late police captain gets linked to drug cartels, wisecracking Miami cops, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett embark on a dangerous mission to clear his name. Oh, what a poor log line. It doesn't even explain that there are ghosts. Ghosts are in this movie. One of our characters visits the afterlife. And there's a giant fucking crocodile. People, we must protect this franchise with everything that we have. This franchise saw what Fast and Furious was doing and said, you know what? We'll see that, and we're going to go one step further. I think by Bad Boys 5, they're going to be fighting in heaven, and I'll be there for it. All right, people, to talk about this film, let me introduce my co-host. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas.
What's up, jerks? That's right. Let's go, Philly. Let's go. Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Holy cow. Wow. Thank you. First of all, thank you. Because, boy, are you lucky. Last night, we watched Megalopolis for New York.
Some of you were there. I know some of you were there, right?
A powerfully shattering 2.5-hour watch. This, wow, what a breath of fresh air. I was like, give me more. This had just washed all over me. I was like, yeah.
I rewound certain sequences. Normally, I'm just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Not only did I watch the whole thing, this is a little teaser for later, there's a post-credit scene.
I'm aware.
All right, great.
I'm aware.
All right, great.
And I want to piggyback on what you said, because I also put it in my notes. This movie cribs all the best Fast and Furious stuff.
Yeah.
Taking plot elements from past movies and retconning them to give us a bigger picture of a larger world that they can inhabit. Nobody dies anymore. Nobody dies anymore. Everybody's immortal except for the hundreds of civilians who must have been killed in all of this stuff. My only solution that I think we have to be gunning for is these two franchises need to meet.
It would be...
That's got to be it.
I mean, I'm there for it. I want it to happen. Yes, civilians die at a reckless degree.
So, and you know what, though? They deserve to die. Because people are pulling guns constantly, and everybody's just going about their biz.
It's Miami, baby.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, to talk a little bit about Bad Boys tonight, please welcome my other co-host, June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
I'm well. How are you, Paul?
I am fine. Thank you for asking.
Of course.
Now, June, I wanted to just check in with you because I love these movies. I don't make you watch them with me. Mm-hmm. Where do you fall on? Have you
Wait,
seen?
but you do make her watch other movies with you?
Sometimes.
Make you is the.
Yeah, it's like it's.
I don't make you. You're welcome. I don't make you watch the
By
movies.
the way, thank you for picking up on that.
Oh yeah. Are you safe? Are you cool?
Yeah.
Sometimes I will strong arm June into watching a film with me, and begrudgingly you like it.
Make to strong arm?
Thank you for seeing the difference.
Wow, just heightening. Classic heightening.
Sometimes I will just, get her in a good old headlock and make her... No, but where do you fall on the Bad Boys scale? Have you seen any Bad Boys?
This is my first... I'm so embarrassed. No, this is so shameful. This is so shameful, and I realize that.
And when I say that, you're not at all.
I know I'm not.
This is perhaps the least safe space in America.
Believe
currently.
me, I know.
Don't applaud.
Yeah!
Listen.
Absolutely proving my point, you fucking maniacs.
Things are dangerous at home, and they're dangerous here in this theater, too. I've never seen a Bad Boy movie.
I'm
and
so
that's
excited about
my
it.
fault. That's my fault.
You
because
have wonderful stuff ahead.
Well, listen, this Bad Boys... What is the...
From Ride or Die.
Ride or Die. Bad Boys Ride or Die is my favorite movie that I've ever seen. It's my favorite movie.
Now,
I'm not... I really... This is my favorite movie now. Yeah. So that's something that happened.
I do want to ask the audience, if it's your first Bad Boys experience, by applause.
Oh, that's a
wow.
number of us. Okay, feel
Now,
better.
Also by applause, how many of you will go back and watch for the first time 1 through 3? Yes.
Just know that one had a very small budget, so much so that an SUV just drives through a bunch of bicycles. Like, we need something to happen.
Well, it's like when we did Fast and Furious 1, and the whole thing is about him ordering a great sandwich from Mia at the Toretto family sandwich shop while Dom is out stealing combination VCR DVD players.
I actually, I just want to say something, though, because Fast now has been brought up a number of times tonight. I actually think that we've done something very wrong on this podcast to elevate Fast and Furious the way that we have.
Okay.
This work
has gone unacknowledged.
It's really
now
it's a crime, and I'm sorry. All I can do is stand in feedback and say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
Yeah. It's tough.
I didn't know.
It's tough. There was a huge... what has made us able to do Fast and Furious is they come out at a Fast and Furious clip.
Right.
And the Bad Boys franchise has huge gaps. So there's 10 years between 2 and 3, right?
They're working on it, I guess, because I see it on the screen. I see that they've been putting a lot of thought.
Let
me say one thing, Paul. Let me say one thing.
All right,
Stop
please.
making two.
Got it.
Strong arm.
I just have to say that this comedic pairing has... I'm going to say it. I'm going to make some statements tonight. It's lifted me out of a depression to watch the two of them on screen.
They are great.
They are crackling, and the dialogue, together, nobody could deliver this. As leaden as the Torettos are, is as bright and effervescent as Will and Martin are.
This movie knows what it is, but also then pushes it forward more. It's like, we're dumb, but we're going to be really dumb, but also it works.
And also it's real. And
Yes.
also they have real chemistry. No. And they're also dropping in. I'm sorry, there's a lot of mental health issues that they address in this movie.
Yes.
And my mental health was saved.
Okay, not only that, but it is a
By
movie
watching it.
that is truly, as opposed to Fast and Furious, about family.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are parents and children and negotiating and
Love
renegotiating
it. Happy-
difficult relationships. This is family. I cried multiple times in this movie. I genuinely wrote in my notes, I must be going through something. I keep tearing up. I teared up when Reggie saluted.
I did too.
When Reggie saluted the ring cam. I was like, Reggie! My guy!
Reggie, and we'll get to it in a little bit, but Reggie has been set up since 2. Here's what I'll just say.
Oh, Reggie's been set up since 2.
We'll get into all
He
this.
enters as like a child.
Yes.
He enters as
At
like
15.
the
I have
boyfriend
the
of
clip.
the daughter.
I have the clip.
I'm
we'll
even
talk about
happier.
I just want to put it in context, and we'll talk about this movie in present, but I want to talk about where this movie started. Bad Boys 1. It was a vehicle for Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. That's who Simpson and Bruckheimer are like, that's our movie. Dana Carvey, John Lovitz, they're our bad boys.
Pistachio Disguisey.
They said...
That's right? I can't like Dumbledore with his wand in front of the pensive. I just pulled that name out.
Amazing. Now,
it's also like the space you've had to make in your brain for that name. Like what hasn't gotten in there? Yeah.
Pretzi? What's going? Why is this? Why do I have access?
It all lives up in our mind palaces. Now, I'll tell you this, just to add one more layer of it. So when this movie is made originally, Dana Carvey, John Lovitz, they say, we can't do it, they're not going to do it, whatever happens. And then they go, well, the next guy we have to go to is Martin Lawrence, because Martin Lawrence is a big star. And Martin Lawrence is like, I'll do it, but I want Will Smith. And they're like, no. Will Smith, not a movie star. We won't do it with Will Smith. Martin Lawrence is like, we have to do it.
This is, to be fair, pre-Independence Day,
100%.
Pre-Will Smith movie star.
So Will Smith, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, bulked up, did the first movie. It goes on, and I believe that Bad Boys 4 is now Will Smith going, Martin, something's wrong. I'm going to bring it back in. I feel like Martin does not look well. And I'll tell you this much. I'm okay.
By the way, be careful.
I'm okay. I'm going to be careful because
he's one of the best we have to offer as a people. I'm sorry.
He's doing amazing. He's great. But they needed to give him a heart attack in the first scene to be like, this man is just out of the hospital.
Yes.
We needed to get on that page. We needed to be like, both of them are not running around anymore. This man is hours outside of a heart attack.
And as a result, is behaving in an unhinged fashion.
Yes.
So they're like, we need to create an inciting incident where everything else is in response to that. The fact that he thinks he is immortal for this movie and then sets up so many great games for him to play you have to know, in the beginning, these movies were Michael Bay movies.
Yes.
That's the stylistic.
And that's why he makes
the
a cameo.
stylistic flourishes are Michael Bay flourishes from all the careening camera, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then these guys, where are these guys from?
These guys are amazing. Adil and Bilal, they're two guys.
They're fucking fan. They did the last two, and they were like, watch me cook. Like Michael Bay. They were like, we're taking Michael Bay and going nuts.
I have so much to say about these guys, but most notably, the reason why they're back, they did 3 with witches. Will Smith did fuck a witch, and that's his son from The Witch Son. There are witches.
Yep. There are witches.
But what I will
say,
that
there are witches everywhere.
Yeah. What I will say though is, Adil and Bilal, they made the Batgirl movie that no one will ever see. And when that got shelved, they're like, fuck it, we're going back to Bad Boys. Because Michael Bay was like, come on back, guys. We gotcha. And Michael Bay's really kind of blessed them and given them carte blanche to go make whatever the fuck they want to make. One of the things being they've always had this dream of having a Steadicam on a rig that shoots out like the gun. That's that amazing scene. They're like, can we do that? Michael Bay's like, of course. Do it as many times as you can. And then they give it to, Will Smith. He executes it perfectly. Gun, camera, back, boom, boom, boom. They give it to Martin, and you can tell not quite as adept at working that Steadicam. He gets one push
when
forward.
when that scene happens in the Gator Reserve, we're jumping to Act 3 straight away. I just want to say that segment where it becomes like a first-person shooter game, where it's cutting back and forth between first-person POV, like bang, 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 but then it's cutting directly out, I think what you're describing, which is a very close shot that's on them, on a rig on them. Will Smith is like, bam, bam, bam. Martin is so funny. What he's doing in that coverage, he's just like, chaos, chaos, chaos. That I'm like, yes, give me this all day.
There is literally what they had strapped to them was a giant camera, and they had to like kind of push it out and then flip it around and pull it back in. It was like, it's a feat of strength, right, what they're doing. So it's really complex. But I want to just say that this movie, from moment one, when we get the POV from the watch, I was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
This movie is going... We're getting a camera through the watch? This movie...
It was watch cam.
Watch cam.
Also, Martin, if we're to believe the movie, Martin Lawrence has cameras all throughout the... Ring cameras.
Ring cameras
all throughout the interior of his house?
That's not how ring cameras are supposed to be working.
Does his family know?
I did have one question that maybe you both could answer. I don't know if it's covered in 1, 2, or 3, but I'm assuming they both have cop salaries, so city, tax funded salaries.
Marcus has more money, or Will Smith's character, Mike.
Okay, because Mike, how? Because the amount of money he must have to have that house, I'm like, if anyone's being investigated on the force for ties to the cartel, it should absolutely be Mike.
And you're right, and I don't think they ever give it, and forgive me, some nerd out there will tell us if I'm wrong.
That's me.
You're the
I'm the nerd. Mike Lowry is a pretty boy, rich boy. And so like they never took him seriously. So in the first movie, he's like driving Lamborghinis, he's driving Porsche. He's always been fancy rich boy that they didn't think could hang in the cop world, and that we kind of catch him. He's already hanging, but it is established.
So that's just generational wealth he's sitting on.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's some.
Great for him.
Oh,
that's great.
He actually he invested in iHeartRadio or something, and he was first on. So when I knew that
Mike Lowry is on the board of directors at iHeart.
And in the movies, he's on Shark Tank. It's weird, but not in real life. So when I knew this movie was going to be special was they give Martin Lawrence a heart attack. And I'm like, oh, interesting. But then he falls through the floor.
So cool.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This is becoming like an art house movie.
Well, he falls into like the limbo-esque world that I believe is from Black Panther. Like, he falls into that. It's in that the color saturation and all the stuff is very reminiscent of that world where you can talk to the dead and the dead can impart. Why does Joey Pants have to whisper? They're there alone.
That fucking parrot.
Oh, that
you
parrot.
Don't trust it. Never talk in front of a parrot.
Just so you know, Joey Pants is an integral part of the early movies.
I certainly got that. I certainly picked up on that.
Boy, it's classic Joey Pants.
Well, I was so excited to go back, and I have to say, and I don't know if you all felt this way, but not having any information about what happened between his son, the relationship between them and the captain, like I was 1,000% on board and invested in all these relationships, missing major plot holes.
Because there's a lot, you're right, and that's testament to a good movie.
Yes.
Because for someone who, and a lot of you are in the same boat, who doesn't know, this movie is suffused with lore. Every single person in this movie is basically a character from one of the other movies who is either continuing to move that role forward or recalibrating that role, Fast and Furious style. I was the bad guy, the son. Now I'm the good guy. I'm on the team.
It's creating like George R.R. Martin level lore for basically Miami cops fighting drug dealers. I mean, that's where we started, and now we're like, well, this guy, the tall guy. We also have this guy. Like Joey Pants doing so much trying to deep dive on the conspiracy that he's made these videos, multiple videos, on one day. He's like, fuck it, I guess this is the day I'm making my
okay,
dead
but
man
here's
videos.
the problem I have with the videos. I mean, I guess, and I don't have any problems, by the way, but if I were to, I would just ask, like, he seems on the videos so resigned that he's dying. That he's not going to make it.
It seems as though he's dying that day.
Yes.
He's like
drinking a whole bottle of booze like he's dying today.
I know, and it made me think, like, well, he knows this is sort of an insurance policy, and I guess you have to get in that character to make those videos. But wow, it really seemed like he had reconciled his own death.
Yeah.
You know,
But I
come
don't
to
think
terms
he
with his
has.
life.
I think he's upset. He's like, fuck. Like, let's watch clip 3.
What the hell?
He's texting us from the other side.
No, he's not, Marcus.
If you've seen this, I'm probably dead. Fuck me. Before I begin, I want to say one thing. I'm putting you in mortal danger. Boys, we got rats in our walls. But I gotta make sure you're my bad boys. The Coke bottle giant is the key.
What?
Don't trust anybody.
Who's working the camera for
What's
him?
up? What is that?
His camera has movement. It's pushing in.
His
it's
wife,
pushing-
he's
I
like,
don't
honey,
know.
can you tape my death video?
Yeah.
She's
Or
like, you
he
should-
might have edited the video after and just
He's got
gave
one of those
himself
weird,
a,
like, GoPro arms.
It's a gimbal. He shot it on a selfie stick on a gimbal.
I just love that he has gone so deep, but he hasn't told his 2 bad boys that he has been going. Like, so he's in working silently. Like, he doesn't say, hey, look, just guys, just FYI, if I ever die, look into this. He's like, can't tell them. How was he investigating anything? He's not told anyone.
Well, and we're also forgetting that the reason they received this video is because his home personal computer has been somehow infiltrated, and he's created some sort of
trap.
yes, so that, which I was like, the tech team on the bad end of the spectrum seems so sophisticated. They can't get into a home personal computer.
Not only that, if I'm Joey Pants and I'm sitting on that level of stuff, if I die, all that documentation should go to the bad boys. It
Right.
shouldn't wait until someone
Yes.
tries to log on to a single laptop. That's crazy.
And I do believe there has been a large chunk of time between Bad Boys 3, where he is shot, and Bad Boys 4. So his wife has not shut down anything in his office. Those computers, because you have to log, like, there has to be something to log. Like, it's like, oh yeah, the computer's on his desk, he's getting into it. But, like, maybe they're just leaving his office up as, like, they've never shut off his computer. But then, I mean, look. It is.
And there's multiple videos. That's the thing is, it's basically a scavenger hunt.
It is.
And the scavenger hunt keeps like, what a joy for Joey Pants' character to be like, oh, I get to make another video. Well, you've made it this far.
But then he's also talking to the Coke bottle giant. He's going to that guy like, okay, look, I'm going to give you a barcode. You got to hide this somewhere. Well, why? I can't get into it.
Oh, yeah, the QR code that I was like, and he was like, it's hidden in something beautiful, like the QR code in the visual art.
Yes.
I was like, this is not beautiful. And everybody points cameras at a QR code. People in public who see a QR code, there's just a cop who's like, hey, look at this. I just happen to be pointing my camera at this piece of art.
Jason, not just a cop. That's Vanessa Hudgens.
Sorry.
Part of the ammo division.
Now, what's amazing about Vanessa Hudgens, she's in this movie partnered up with
the other guy.
what's nobody Jr., right? From the Fast and Furious movies? No? It's not Scott Eastwood?
No, it's not Scott Eastwood.
know.
It is Alexander Ludwig.
Damn it.
Yes.
Do they look similar? No?
I would say
How about if I say, do they look similar, and you guys all agree? Do they look similar? We'll put that in.
now. I will tell you that they are part of a.
Desperately wanted them to be the same character because that could be the pivot point.
Oh, that would
or
be
the same
amazing.
actor for a Fast and
You
Furious
can get Kurt Russell in one of these.
incursion.
Yeah. There is one thing that I'll say is that the Ammo team, we're only left with 2 members of, they were set to take over the Bad Boys franchise in 3. It felt like the Bad Boys were being pushed out for the Ammo team.
Oh, they were the Jeremy Renner of the Bourne.
Yes. Of the Mission Impossible world, yeah.
And Mission both.
Oh, yeah, both.
Bourne
Yeah, right.
Wait,
Legacy
so
as well.
what's the name of Martin's?
Marcus.
No, Marcus's nephew, who's former military, Reggie.
Not former, active.
Marine.
Sorry, active Marine. Is he set up at the end to be a bad boy?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I actually did pull the clip of Reggie's first appearance, and I think what makes it even better. Can we play that first clip of Reggie? This is the first time we ever meet Reggie.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Mr. Burnett. I'm Reggie.
What you doing here?
Came to take on Megan.
What?
I came to take on Megan.
How old are you?
I'm 15, Mr. Burnett.
Motherfucker, you look 30. Show me some ID.
I don't have no room.
What you want, nigga?
I'm here to take you. Please throw that out.
What's your name?
Reggie.
Well, no, y'all heard the motherfucker say your name, Reggie. You taking Megan out? How old is you?
15.
Shit, nigga, you at least 30. Right? Now listen, have my daughter home at 10:01. If she ain't home at 10:01, I'm in the car, okay? Locked, loaded, and hunting your motherfucking ass down. Do you hear me?
And I'm
Pick
going
the
with
fuck
him.
up, Reggie.
And if I'm there, you know what it's gonna be? Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, nigga. That's what it's gonna be.
Marcus! Oh, Reggie, baby, I am so sorry. Please forgive Megan's dad and his silly friend.
You a virgin?
Yes.
All right, keep it that way. Ain't gonna be no fucking that night.
Baby, the red shirt's nice. I like that. You guys have a good time.
You ever made love to a man?
No.
You want to?
Hey, have a good time, baby.
Good. All right.
Now, arguably...
Come on!
Arguably, that's the most screen time Reggie has until this movie. He's background, so he gets married. He's always background in a bunch of
And
scenes.
he's always like this. He
Right.
has a couple of lines, and they just go in on him. Like in the barbecue and the chicken scene
Yeah.
at the end of this
That's
movie.
such a great game. Wow. I can't believe. Okay, first of all, I didn't realize that Reggie wasn't related to Martin.
No.
His son-in-law.
Now I understand that. Okay, son-in-law. Okay,
But
wow.
he's 15 there.
So it's so funny for them to... Who had the genius idea of like, oh, wait a minute. What if we let Reggie do a whole set piece just for him? That's where
Dylan
this
Bilal.
movie-
They are the ones. Now, I'll tell you this much. That's the other thing about the Bad Boys movie. They franchise out the action to a lot of other people. I mean, they do some scenes. Yes, Martin will be on his knees on the hood of a car, not running. The car will be running for him.
By the
I
way,
was like, the way they're coming up with ways to keep him not mobile is great.
I love
now that I see him in this shot, at first when you said we had to explain why Martin looks the way Martin looks, I was like, I don't know. I think that's kind of cruel, Paul. I think Martin looked great. Now after seeing this, I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
it's fine. We just got to know that, Martin is like...
Yeah.
So funny.
And
because
weirdly,
they
like Will Smith looks younger now, so I don't know what's happening.
Oh, it's incredible. It is wild. But the idea of Martin, they're doing such creatively bizarre things to do, like that scene where it is as if he's jousting on top of a car, chasing those guys. But then, so he gets to have all this weird action stuff, but then all of the so much emotional stuff is on Martin, I feel like. Because
Very much so.
when they go to Will Smith's wedding, we hear all of his wife's vows. None of his vows. He says not a word. And then she finishes and Jay Shetty's like, your husband and wife. And everybody's like, what's this asshole doing here? And nobody knows what's going on. I was like, why don't we get any of... But Will Smith, he is not emotional until the end of the movie.
Yes. And it's also crazy that in that scene, you have to understand, at that point, I didn't know Joey Pants was in the movie.
Right.
So
But you saw the giant
But we're
picture.
pulling out on that ceremony, and I'm like, who is that?
It's a huge...
And it's so big. If you're going to do that, by the way, you have a stand and you have a small 8 by 10 max.
But can you...
And that's a lovely touch.
Can you just
This was bizarre.
Can you think of that, though? It's like, people normally do that for their parents. These are 2 adult men, or I'll say one adult man this is his boss.
Yeah.
Like, now I know that he was there when the guy died, but it is an odd thing. Like, I do need a giant, I do need like a a 3 foot by 4 foot picture of my old boss.
It is what you would normally see at like a funeral service or a wake.
It's a
where
closed casket kind of situation.
It suggests that the focus of this day is on this dead man.
Yes, and this dead man alone. The way that portrait steals focus from this wedding.
And that his granddaughter gets to give a speech.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, well, yeah, it's like you give a speech now. They're like, hold on, we're getting too far away. He's not a relative. This kid doesn't know them at all, and she's just kind of embodying what her grandfather might have said.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, why not have Ray Seahorn do it? She's an
because
adult.
even at that point, I felt like Ray Seahorn was like, I'm not fully in with these guys.
No, she has to. I think it's so that the daughter can be, or the granddaughter rather, can be the hostage.
Okay. So if Joey Pants' daughter is Ray Seahorn, and then Ray Seahorn's daughter is the granddaughter who loves
Callie,
why? You would think like Joey Pants would be like, oh, I love my bad boys, Ray. I love my bad boys. And Ray would be like, oh, yeah, the bad boys are good because you're my dad. Seems...
She thinks they killed him.
No. Will Smith's son killed Joey Pants.
Yes.
So that's what she's mad at. So that makes sense to me. That she is.
But she's going after them.
She's not necessarily going after them. What she is saying is, I am stung. I am hurt. My father is dead. And if I could get a shot at your son, regardless of the fact that he's your son and I have love for you both, I will put that guy down.
And I think it's a hard position for her to be in, to go and celebrate the man whose son murdered her dad.
Yeah.
No, he's not at the wedding.
No, but I'm saying his son.
I would love it if he got released from prison just for the day.
And he's just in that cage.
Oh my God, that cage.
That airplane scene.
That cage.
Why do they keep him like Magneto, but yet let him go out into the prison population for physical activity with everybody?
It's like that cage. It's truly, it's meant for people who eat people. That's the only reason to ever have to be in a cage like that.
But I loved it.
It was certainly evocative.
The very first, they're in a helicopter, the very first moment that the pilot is killed, 30 seconds later, everyone in that helicopter should be dead. Immediately. They execute a level of stuff that is only available in the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
They would be boom, 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 everybody dead. Every bone broken, but they are just they're fighting, they're jumping, they're untying things, they're unlocking things.
And Martin is in one spot on the ceiling holding a rope.
Yeah.
Everyone else is
And
I'll just stay here. I will not move.
They get the sun out, and the sun and Martin land the helicopter. I was like, what?
At one point, I got lost in... It's such a long sequence that I truly got lost in the geography of the helicopter. I was like, are there wings to this helicopter? Sections and annexes that I didn't see?
I thought it was a jet, a plane. It had the interior of a cargo plane.
Yes.
Except that it's a helicopter.
No, here's
and why
my
are they
question.
taking their guns?
I don't know why they're taking their
They're
guns.
only 2 passengers.
And also... why did they need a helicopter to transport him back to Miami?
This is the big question.
Because they drove there earlier.
And they drive back. Because when they are running through the swamps, they get in the car and then all of a sudden they're in downtown Miami. I'm like, why did they go, it's a 45-minute flight. And I found myself going, where are they even going?
Yeah.
They're keeping him safer, but put him in a car.
And also they steal hillbilly clothes, but they don't wear hats at all, and they just go back to Miami and go to every place in the city. Just so wanted. They are the most wanted people. That it is an indictment of everybody in the police force, in the FBI.
Wow.
What, is Ray Seahorn a marshal or a
Well,
she's
that's
the
what I couldn't quite understand what department she was in, because I assume she was FBI because she
I think
did.
she's a marshal.
Well, I don't
she's
really
like
know the
Tommy Lee
difference
Jones.
between a U.S. Marshal and.
She's like
Is
Tommy
she a
Lee
marshal?
Jones going after Harrison Ford.
She's
a
okay,
U.S.
so they
Marshal.
She's
they look
like
for
Raylan
fugitives
Givens
and.
from Justified.
Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. That's cleared up. I do. One of my favorite things about her and Vanessa Hudgens when we first see her is and this is such a cop movie trope where the female cops all wear their hair in low buns. Low chignons. It's like, why can't they ever have their hair down?
And I love the scene for Vanessa Hudgens when what we've talked about, the Reggie scene, where Reggie's kicking ass, it's all being shown on the Ring cams. And so everybody in the safe house is watching on the screen all the stuff. And so everybody's just reacting like, oh, whoa, Reggie, wow, look out behind you, all this kind of stuff. In the background and behind all of them with her back to the screen, they're reacting so hard. Vanessa Hudgens just loading guns.
To the point where I was like, this is going to come back somehow.
Not once is she like, wait, what's up? This sounds fun to watch. She's like, gotta load these guns.
My favorite part of that is this guy who is not Scott Eastwood has shown himself to be an amazing tech wizard. He's done it already. We know he's a tech wizard. And then Martin goes, hey, can you hack into my Ring cam? And he's like, yeah, just give me your username and password. It's not hacking in if you have the two things. Yeah, you have the app? No, just pull it up on your phone. There's your Ring cam. Done. Then
I hacked it.
You hacked into my computer. My password is
But by
Snickers
the way,
89.
Here, is it a safe house, Jason? You said that place
safe houseboat.
Okay, because that just seems like his house.
It is his house.
Right, but why? It was his houseboat. But why doesn't
Why do
the
they always
U.S.
have houseboats?
They have to.
I just want to throw it out there.
I love a movie with a houseboat.
There are more houseboats per capita in our movies than in our world.
And that's a damn shame.
Sorry, June, please.
No, I believe that is his permanent residence on the houseboat. So they seem to be there for a long time. Why doesn't the U.S. Marshal Organization ever think to check out their closest friends on the force?
Yes. Can I add to this? Because at a certain point, they are using the guys, not Scott Eastwood's ability to hack and get into cameras for all over the place, and they're watching the cartel, the baddies. It's Eric Dane, right?
Yeah.
Eric Dane and the baddies
great.
are both attacking both Will Smith's house and Martin Lawrence's house, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's my house. We got to get there. We got to warn them." They are the biggest fugitives in Florida, in the country, probably at this point.
Millions of dollars out on their
You're
head.
telling me there's no surveillance on the houses? There aren't police, FBI, or marshals staking out their homes and being like, how come there's an execution squad heading into this suburban household? Should we check that out?
I will go one step further.
They don't have to go to the houseboat. They can go home. Nobody's watching the house.
I will go one step further in that they walk through the kitchen of the strip club, and then Ray is like, "Oh, we got a lead." So wait, you got a lead? So someone's currently uploading the security footage from the kitchen of the strip club, to you immediately? They just walked through seconds ago.
Oh yeah.
Who's doing that?
Well,
I don't know.
What I love about these movies is, boy, is it full of plot holes and flaws and absolute lunacy in terms of story construction, but I don't give a fuck. Put
Just
it straight into
going.
my brain.
I also want to unpack the big question of the thing. Did Martin Lawrence have an afterlife experience, or is he imagining it? Because you said he thinks he's unkillable. I think he is unkillable. And because, look, he does some stuff that's pretty crazy, right?
Yes, but I think I fall in between you. I think that he did have an experience with the afterlife that was very profound. And even though all of the footage we saw in that montage of the afterlife, he describes later on that their souls have been in this friendship, learning from each other over many, many lifetimes. But that wasn't the footage we saw at all.
No.
It's
But they're soulmates. He says we're soulmates.
Right, I understand, but from what did he see that would ever make him think that?
We don't know.
But I do think whatever happened down there, up there, wherever, was deeply profound. And because he had a brush with it,
right,
he somehow convinced himself that he can escape death. And
here's
that is not true.
I think that's true, and I agree with you. But I think, and the only thing that tells me that it is in the previous movies, and correct me if I'm wrong, he is fearful.
Right.
He is the
They
scaredy
switched the
cat.
roles here.
Yes, so it gives him the
Wow,
ability to, for the
interesting.
first time, be front of the action rather than let's not do this, like trying to pull it back, trying to rein Mike in. Now he's out. He's being irresponsible. He's.
I'm enjoying this movie more just 3 hours after watching it.
Now, but
knowing
here's the
all this.
thing.
When has that ever happened?
Never.
But here's the thing. He also seemingly has special powers because when he does eat the jelly beans and drink the punch, he is like, he hulks out. And he's like, he goes
Well,
crazy.
that's also me on sugar. I mean, that's just like,
That's just a sugar rush.
yeah.
But now that brings me to my other point, which is at the end of the movie. I'm just skipping ahead because I want to unpack this idea of the afterlife. At the end of the movie, Will Smith.
This is the best interpretation of the afterlife I've ever seen.
I mean, this is.
This
wow.
made me believe in a life after death.
I mean, this is why. This is. Whew.
I hope when I die, Joey Pants is there.
Well, this is the question.
Like, remember Midnight Run?
This is the question that I have because at the end, Martin Lawrence has seen the afterlife. Will Smith has not seen the afterlife. But Joey Pants appears to Will Smith and forgives him. He's like, hey, man, my death, not your fault. And then that snaps Will Smith out of it. But is that Will Smith just telling himself that? Or I think with the language of the movie, it's Joey Pants because Joey Pants did foresee everything. Or is that just Will Smith giving him permission to be over it?
I think so. I think this is a father figure for both of these men, and I think both of them in their crisis moments are having experiences interpreting their lives through the lens of this father figure. The movie wants to interrogate an afterlife and what it means to... Because Martin comes back from the heart attack and says, it's not my time.
Right.
And I also, I understand the confusion about, like, is that a ghost or is that actually him or where is that guy coming from? Or is Will Smith about to die and that's why he's seeing him? I thought that it was, I agree with Jason, just him really confronting this like deep, deep pain. And Joey Pants stands in for so much in this movie.
All right, so then I'm just gonna spiral it out one more time. I thought the panic attacks that Will Smith is having is based. Love it.
Honestly, love it.
Yep.
To see a buddy cop, to see like a blockbuster cop movie, and see what our main character having panic attacks, I was like, this is...
But that's something you won't see in the earlier ones.
Yeah. But that's
the...
what's so fun about this movie is he's changed a little bit, but he's having a panic attack, and I think, he's having a panic attack because he loves his wife, and he was excited about the future of his wife. But then at the end, it's like, no, he's just upset because he killed Joey Pants, or he didn't kill Joey Pants, but I thought it was like a combination of things, but it seems like sometimes the panic attacks full on, sometimes not there at all. Because he does kick ass a few times in this movie. But just to answer the question, was he really in the afterlife? We do have the post-credits scene. 305 BC.
Come on. Bring your ass on. It's too hot out here for this shit. Wish I had a horse. At least I could ride that motherfucker. All this free air out here, and I still smell your stinking ass. I curse you, donkey. I curse you for all lifetime. Oh, you mother...
Fuck you, Marcus.
Fuck you, Marcus.
The donkey says, fuck you, Marcus.
Yeah.
In Will Smith's... This is wild stuff.
So now I believe everything.
Is
that
this...
ending...
I now want to see a donkey movie where it's Eddie Murphy's donkey and Will Smith's donkey, and we connect the Shrek-averse and the Bad Boys-averse.
Bad donkeys.
And it's double donkeys.
Before we get to the audience...
I'd rather not.
You brought it up. Abandoned Gator Park where they... when I first
Why
see this
not? It's Florida.
And they
Why
don't
not?
say anything. They don't say anything until so far. They keep cutting back to the bad guys, and they are in a place where there's a giant statue of a dinosaur.
When I saw that, I was like, huh? What's going on here? And because they don't talk about it, they never mention it. And then as they're flying in, they're like, oh, just so you know, this is an abandoned gator park. And
no, they go, what are those?
Oh.
And not Scott Eastwood goes, Gators. What?
The crazy part about that is that they've already decided to put Armando, what's his son's name? They've already decided to put him in the water with all that gear, fully knowing there's a crazy albino gator on the loose.
A 16-foot, 900-pound albino gator.
And many other gators.
And many other
that are just
gators.
Straight up Regs gator.
The thing that I couldn't get over, there's a scene at the houseboat where Will Smith is saying to Rita, Marcus, you all are the only people we can trust. The people who are right here. All of us was the only people we can trust right now. And then they cut to them on an airplane with an older white gentleman in a Hawaiian shirt.
Fucking Jimmy Buffett over
I
here.
was like, well, who's that guy? Who's he?
Who's Tommy Bahama that they're flying with? What the fuck?
Everybody, and also my friend Dave. Now, be cool when Dave gets here.
Right.
Don't tell him too much shit. He was going to want to tell you about his
That
grandkids.
poor guy, the pilot I felt bad for because then
I
the guy
felt
who's
so
running for
badly
mayor
for
is like
him.
pointing a gun at him, let's get out of here. Then they shoot him down. I'm like, this guy's just grinding.
But they also...
This is a gig economy.
They-
He's flying people around the swamps of Florida. His life is already a nightmare.
But they do a good service to him because when the helicopter crashes through a building, they're going through, and then they just have him like, he's like kind of just hanging out the door like, what a ride.
Yes,
he's alive.
He is alive at the end.
It's basically A-team rules.
Right.
Almost no one dies unless they are a very bad person. All the hostages would have been killed in the crossfire of this fight.
100%.
Because nobody is tactically nobody's shooting from cover. Everybody is just running full bore like they're at paintball and it's a drunken bachelor party. It is just like, There is no okay, go. It's just like everybody's full on. There is so much cover. There's so many boxes. There's so much stuff to hide behind. Not interested. Just run straight. And that's everybody.
Everyone is going down straight hallways very quickly.
Giving all of their enemies a complete target.
So now, before this scene starts, I guess we have to address, this is the moment that Will Smith gets to address the slap. I mean, this is the moment. This is the big...
It does feel like the moment. I wrote this moment.
yeah.
I didn't know it was post-slap.
This is post-slap. So that's why you have this whole sequence here where it is like, all right, this is the first, I don't have it. I don't know it, but the idea was, what is he going to, because it's the first movie made after it, is he going to address it? Like like they've said in the press, right? We do something. We address it. And I feel like the way they addressed it was by saying, hey, Will's got some panic attacks too. He's not a perfect person. And then we're going to smack the shit out of him a couple times too. And then because he got smacked a couple times, it's like kind of evens out. All right. So let's go to the crowd. Let's see what everybody's thinking out here. All right, sir, what's your name?
Doc Brown.
All right, Doc Brown, what do you got?
2 questions. Will this be in Unspooled next week? And okay, just making sure.
How dare you, Doc Brown?
Honestly, though, Doc Brown, while watching, I was like, this is on the wrong podcast.
It's one of the rare ones that can be on both.
Paul, do you, Jason, and June know how to do the wobble? It was in the wedding scene.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've never done it. No. But I enjoyed that sequence.
Got to wobble.
I don't do dances. Doc Brown, can you show us the dance?
Yeah, turn the music on.
Do we have any? What would be? We'll get music. Can we get music? Brian, can we get any music?
Doc Brown, do you have a particular song?
No. It's called the wobble.
Oh, it's called the wobble?
Yeah.
Hey.
You have it? You're pulling it up?
Assholes, I'm trying to play your song. I don't know it.
If you have it.
I'm learning. Be kind, Philly. I know that's impossible. Because most of you are out of your fucking minds.
I can put it to the microphone. If anyone knows, I'm going to play it on. I think I have it right here. All right, so I'm going to hold
An
the mic.
entire theater of balcony monsters.
All right, so if anyone knows it, this is where we should all stay up. Yes, yes, yes. Keep it going.
Yes.
Balcony.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yes.
Let's go, Philly. Only women are dancing. That's an indictment to the men of Philly.
Yes. This is the best.
I love Doc Brown. Doc Brown, home run.
Thank you.
This guy gets it.
Here's what I think. We do this movie. We come back to Philly. We see the Wobble, the first ever dance party. Now we're meeting a couple that just got married.
Oh!
Just got married. They're in their beautiful outfits.
They're in their wedding outfits? Did you come from the wedding?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. They are in their outfits.
Play the song! Do it! Billy, get up there! Let's go!
And then I have a heart attack and I fall through the floor.
Holy shit.
Do you have a
Holy
question?
shit. Do we have to
No
license
question. All right.
that song?
Congratulations. They don't even have a question. They just came from there. Everyone that they're with is in full wedding outfit.
Wait, the whole group? The whole wedding?
Yes.
Wow. Holy shit.
Well, you definitely saw something we've never done. Wow, that's amazing.
Congratulations.
All right,
Incredible
now coming over
stuff.
here. Who am I coming to? You. Come on.
Incredible stuff.
Did anyone else feel as though the albino alligator could have been like Joey Pants's ghost?
That's interesting.
the best question we've ever gotten.
Why not? I would believe it. I would love it if in the way that the donkey speaks with Will Smith's voice at the end, if after chomping on the bad guy, Duke the albino alligator speaks with Joey Pants's voice and is like, chomp, chomp, yum, yum. I like that.
All right, this is a birthday question. Here we go. I'll hold the mic.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so when he woke up from his coma, he called his wife, and she didn't seem terribly surprised for
She
him
was
to call.
not at the hospital.
None of his family members were at the hospital.
So
Just noted.
What were they doing?
They were cleaning out the cupboards. Here's what I'll say. Martin Lawrence gets out of a bed, pulls off the things that are on his body, walks to the roof, and is standing on the ledge, and one hospital person comes out. One.
Casually.
And they're like, get back in there. And she's like,
the
okay.
minute he pulls half of those things off, alarms are going.
You would think that they would also have an alarm on the door going to the roof.
Oh, yeah.
She seems, I have actually seen the Florida healthcare system, and it does check out that she was like, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah.
I think they were going a long way in that scene to get to showing Martin Lawrence's ass. And it's like, we could have done that. Oh, I didn't expect you to come out that way. We could have gotten there in so many other ways. We didn't need him to almost throw himself off the roof.
But I gotta say, good looking ass.
Oh, okay, Paul.
Oh, okay. Okay, Al Pacino in Heat.
All right, if we said you had a second opinion song, make your way down here. All right, so you can start us off. All right, so what you're gonna do is you can face the audience to turn. Yeah, you can move it down or make it meet your mouth. That's great. I'm going to say...
Please never say the phrase, make it meet your mouth. Make it meet your mouth. That's the T-shirt. That's the T-shirt, Philly. Make it meet your mouth. Just put it down. Make it meet your mouth. What?
Just a microphone on a stand. Make it meet your mouth.
And that's M-E-E-T, not M-E-A-T?
That's for my delicatessen. Make it meet your mouth. Well, look, obviously we have a lot to say about this movie, and we loved it. So I don't even know if these are second opinions, but these are just other opinions, but we didn't come up with a title for that, so now it's time for second opinions.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I joined Mike and Marcus for this new hot caper. Who could have predicted an albino gator? All these camera angles giving me a sickness. Did you know that all of our souls are dickless? Baby, are you in the mood to see Martin Lawrence in the nude? Being bad with two other dudes. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. BADBOYS. Past life skittles, no regrets. BADBOYS. Give it 5 stars, nothing less.
Yeah!
Give it up for Rachel!
Great job!
That was amazing. There are 150,000 reviews on Letterboxd. Okay, we're pulling these from Letterboxd right now. The average Letterboxd rating is 3.19 out of 5 stars. Only 7% are 5-star reviews. Well, these people are wrong.
Fools. Letterboxd sounds like a bullshit, unspooled thing. Give me those Amazon
love Letterboxd.
reviews.
All right, Omer writes this. DJ Khaled fucking dies. 5 stars.
Right. That's right. That was another one.
DJ Khaled showing up, I think he does a fine acting job.
Did a great job.
And the fact that he lets himself get killed, great.
Hats off.
Hats off, DJ Khaled.
Hats off.
You did great.
We doff our cap to you, DJ Khaled.
We the best death. Liziana writes this.
And another one.
Mr. McSteamy, what you doing out here? 5 stars. Stitchy writes, this movie reminds me of me and my best friend. Especially the crocodile scene. 5 stars. Doesn't seem like that was written in jest.
No, I'll say this about the movie, my closing thoughts. You know, the action sequences and all of this stuff is really fun and engaging. But for me, it's the smaller moments. It's the back and forths. It's honestly, the texture of the scenes between Will Smith and Martin that are so good and just funny. They're just funny and interesting, and I loved them.
And they're emotionally resonant in a way that I don't think these movies in the past have aspired to be. Like in the past, these movies were just the shoot 'em up, Michael Bay, Bayhem style. Isn't this crazy? They're blowing this up. Isn't this
And that's
crazy?
why I didn't mind seeing Martin's age, because I felt like these are 2 grown-ass men dealing with problems and having thoughts and reflections on parenthood or whatever it is that you can only have in your later 40s.
Middle-aged bad boys.
Well, I will say,
truly, they were.
This is middle-aged bad. These are bad boys grappling with the vicissitudes of middle age. And let me tell you, it's dark out here.
What I will say is that's what I love about Bad Boys 3, because in all these movies where they're doing these reboots, Bad Boys 3 made a really bold choice. It's like, oh, no, we're going to acknowledge that they're old. And like Vanessa Hudgens is like, you're old as shit. Like, and they still save the day and they're part of it, but they are making fun of them. Like, they have enough of an ego and a sense, or they have a sense of self to be poked fun of. And I think that's what actually makes it really good.
And which only because we keep bringing up the Fast and Furious, but those movies and movies like that or franchises like that aren't interested in having their characters seem like they are interested in looking at themselves or interiority or any of that.
You asked Vin Diesel how old he is. He goes, 27.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's what I loved about it. You know, Will Smith's, slap aside and how the movie dealt with it. you would never see anyone in the Fast and Furious franchise grappling with a mental health issue. Like that's you're just not going to see it.
Well, because family is the best medicine.
And a Corona.
I wrote down, again, multiple times, but I wrote down near the end of my notes, I can't stop crying at this movie, which is an indictment of me. That's concerning for me and me alone. But it's very emotional.
Yes.
It's a very emotional movie. Everyone is so raw.
I felt that too. And again, I didn't know what had happened between any of these characters. Did anyone else notice, though, that Will Smith's new wife, Christine, on her phone, doesn't have a picture of Will, doesn't have a picture of her and Will, has a picture of the four of them together.
Yeah.
Strange.
And it's next to, and her phone lock screen is that, but then it's also on a table with a picture of them from the wedding that they also got developed and framed. Quick. This movie, like, I don't know how long he was in the hospital.
Oh, no, 2 weeks or a week.
A week, okay.
It's like very short. He says, how many years have I been out? He says, it's Tuesday.
Okay, so, I mean, they're getting shit framed.
I love that this movie isn't interested in any kind of realism or anything like that. They just want whatever is going to look best. In the end of the movie, when there's the final shootout with Eric Dane and Will Smith's not having panic attacks now he's steady and sure of himself. He shoots Eric Dane about 1,000 times.
Sure.
Eric Dane is standing, holding Will Smith's wife on the beach. He shoots him a bunch of times. When he dies, he's in waist-deep water. How did he get out to sea? Unclear, but it looks great. Looks great.
Here's what I'll say. I love this movie. I take issue with one detail. Why are they using a fucking dirty grill in the public park to cook their meat on? Like,
I thought about that
never. Ugh. What the fuck is... Come on, guys. Go to Martin's house. Cook in his backyard.
You know what I thought? I thought maybe they pulled that one out.
The grate
and brought
out?
their own...
No
Great.
Yeah.
No, I think I think this is them trying to be like, we're just regular guys. We cook in the park. Even though Will Smith's character has a proven track record of having all of the money in the world.
Martin Lawrence has shown himself to have cookouts in his backyard in Bad Boys 2. Now... But yeah, I was
troubled by that.
I was troubled. I was like, oh, you don't want to eat anything that's off of that.
It
didn't look like he was cleaning it.
One of the things that I loved is after the hillbilly scene where they steal the stuff, and in the trailer we watched earlier, we saw that they have the back and forth about sing a Reba song, and the guys make up a Reba song. But then there is a Reba version of Bad Boys that plays. And I was like, give me this.
So good.
The fact that Reba did that and was down, like, this is like, I was like, this is the best ending of anything.
What you gonna do?
Anyway, we would recommend it. I love this movie. I am so glad that we got to watch this movie with you, Philadelphia.
Play the wobble.
Yeah.
That's what we're going out on. Here we go, Philly. Thank you, Doc Brown. Thank you. You guys can all dance too, motherfuckers. This is the end of the show.
Thank you, Philadelphia. We will be back. You are amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night.
Eat shit, Philly.
Thanks again to the staff at the Miller Theater in Philly and our recording engineer, Andrea Quinn. Now, if you want to feel like you're a part of the show, you can get yourself a shirt that we have designed with the audience that night. It is, yes, you heard us say it, and we made it into a shirt. Make it meet your mouth. That's right, make it meet your mouth, a shirt that Philadelphia said they would buy. I gotta say, if Philadelphia is on board for anything, you know it's cool because we just wobbled with them for longer than you will hear in the actual episode. You can snag that shirt, make it meet your mouth, and a ton of other How Did This Get Made shirts at tpublic.com/stores/HDTGM. And as always, if you have a correction and omission from this episode, leave me a voicemail at 619-PAUL-ASK or write a comment on our Discord at discord.gg/HDTGM. We are actually taking a little holiday hiatus from Last Looks next week, but get those corrections and omissions in since we'll still be covering them when Last Looks returns in mid-January. And in place of Last Looks next week, we are treating you to a re-release of our classic episode on Con Air. Now, this is an important year, 2025. It's the 15th anniversary year of How Did This Get Made, and we are going on tour. We are going to be in LA in January at Largo. I think only one show is left there. We're doing a 3-night residency. Dinosaur will be in Largo, and it will also be in San Francisco in January. You can then see How Did This Get Made on the road in Austin, Denver, Boise, Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, and Los Angeles. We are starting that tour on 3/25 and ending it on 4/4 with a very big, very huge celebration of our show on 4/4. We got to just figure out what that is. Anyway, get tickets now for our shows as we go around the country on spring break to Austin, Denver, Boise, Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, and Los Angeles. Go to HDTGM to get tickets and information. Remember, if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you are subscribed to our feed and have automatic downloads turned on in the show settings. It helps us, and we appreciate it a lot. And last but not least, I got to thank our entire team, to who this show could not be done without. I am talking about our producer, Scott Sani, Molly Reynolds, and our movie-picking producer, Avril Halley, and our engineer, Casey Holford, and our associate producer, Jess Cisneros. That's all I got, people. We will see you next week on Last Looks. Bye for now.